fortress. Well, you've always loved a challenge. I'm beginning to think I might be getting in over my head with this one, said Wren uneasily. But it was Banba who had devised this plan, and they both knew Wren had to follow it. Shen sank to the ground and propped himself against a tree. When night falls, we'll go south to the river and make our way up through the reeds. The walls are older there. The foothold should be easier. We can slip in between patrols. Wren's hand came to the drawstring pouch at her waist. It had been given to her by her grandmother on the morning of their departure from Author, pressed into Wren's hand like a talisman. Keep your magic close at hand but out of sight. At Anadorn, suspected witches are executed first and interrogated later. I can enchant the guards, said Wren confidently. My sleep spells are lightning fast now. I know, said Shen. Don't forget who you practiced on. Wren kicked her legs out and leaned against his shoulder. Above the trill of birdsong, they listened for the distant sounds of palace life, watched servants milling to and fro, and the guards standing stiff-backed at their posts, while the last of the sun melted from the sky in coral brushstrokes. Wren's gaze came to rest on a marble statue protruding from the centre of a beautiful rose garden. She curled her lip. It was the famous protector of Ina, an obsessive man with ravenous ambition who had invaded these shores 1,000 years ago with the sole intent of stamping out every last vestige of magic. In a brutal war that had left few survivors, the Protector had succeeded in deposing Author Starcrest, the last witch queen of Ina, and stealing the kingdom for his own. And even though he had failed to destroy the population of witches entirely, for how can you cut out the beating heart of a kingdom, the Protector was still worshipped to this day, and his hatred of the witches lived on. Shen followed her gaze. What will you do with that hideous statue when you become queen? He asked. Smash it into smithereens. Replace it with a statue of me. I'll smash it into little pieces, said Wren, and then I'll feed them to whoever commissioned that eyesore in the first place, 1 spoonful at a time. At that moment, she spotted someone wandering among the roses. It was a girl about Wren's age. Her dark hair was arranged in loose curls that tumbled all the way to her waist, and she was wearing a fine pink dress with a full skirt. Her dainty chin was tipped to the sky, as though she was lost in thought. Wren stood up without meaning to. Shen tugged on the end of her cloak. Get down. She pointed toward the distant trellises. Do you see that girl? Shen squinted. What about her? That's her. That's my sister. Wren felt a strange pull in her heart, like a thread going taut. For a maddening second, she wanted to go barreling toward those golden gates. That's Rose. Shen stood up slowly. Princess Rose wandering in her rose garden, he said with a low chuckle. I'd say that's as sure a sign as any. Well, that and the fact she appears to have your face. Wren was staring so hard she wasn't blinking. She had grown up knowing she had a twin sister half a world away, but seeing her here in the flesh had rendered her speechless for the first time in her life. Shen turned to her. Don't tell me you're having second thoughts about the plan. In the back of Wren's mind, her grandmother's face hardened. When you get to Anadorn, leave your heart in the forest. A moment of weakness will send us all to ruin. She set her jaw, her gaze still trained on Rose. Never.
2. Rose.